Hello guys, I'm Joshua Halls, and today I'll be looking to explain why the imbalance of F1 coverage in the United States compared to the UK, due to the fact they have a large growing attraction due to the success of a few external stakeholders, like Netflix's Drive to Survive, the introduction of 2 North American Grand Prix, Miami and Las Vegas, to already add to the current roster in Austin, Texas, and to do with the acquisition of F1 from Bernie Ecclestone by Liberty Media, which has added media goals increasing the spectacle of F1 by increasing coverage with an online presence and making more regulation changes to make the races more unpredictable, like we saw in 2022. F1 inaugural Grand Prix in Miami had a total viewership of 2.6 million viewers on ABC in America, which was the biggest since 1995, as stated by Sports Pro Media in 22, but had minimal coverage on ESPN, with the ESPN account database having 34 matches compared to BBC Sports having over 1,000 individual articles and posts since the beginning of September 2021's, compared to ESPN's starting date in 2021. This simply doesn't make sense due to America having growing traction in the United States and F1 having goals of being an international sport with coverage all around the world. The American media may not choose to publish stories on F1 due to a strong sense of patriotism and nationalism towards the American disciplines of motorsport, like NASCAR and IndyCar, as stated by Rainey in 2006. In which IndyCar has a huge following due to some factors that they have which F1 may not have capitalised on as well, like the competitive balance of IndyCar, with IndyCar only having a choice between engines, whereas in F1 the manufacturers have complete control over the car, which can lead to a more fixed result, whereas IndyCar is not as fixed and can be any result really. Another factor can link to the national bias that all sports media, in which it's seen in the media outlets for F1, with Savo stating individual commentators and journalists being more friendly with drivers of the same nationality. This is heavily seen in F1, with BBC and Sky favouring the British drivers with the amount of coverage they receive compared to some drivers, with Hamilton, Norris, Russell receiving more coverage like some other drivers, and is similar with other cases, like Brazilian media with Ayrton Senna and the Dutch media with Max Verstappen with Ziggo Sport. American media outlets cannot have this sense of nationalism in F1 due to there not being an American driver, despite there being a large pool of talented drivers like Logan Sargent, Colton Herta, Pat O'Ward, and many more were considered for F1 seats and have done tests before which have never seemed to land the serious F1 drives. The last American driver who won a world championship being Mario Andretti, with many American drivers struggling to move to Europe to compete in European feeder series, but instead to follow the nationalised local sports like NASCAR and IndyCar and the respective feeder series for that, as stated by Caparelli in 2016. One final factor that can affect viewership in certain countries is the streaming platform in which F1 is streamed on, with many different countries having different viewership based upon the price of streaming platforms, with other countries having higher viewership than North America, with them only streaming Formula 1 and ESPN, which is locked behind a paywall, compared to other countries that have free streaming services like Brazil, as stated by the Formula 1 Corporation, which has a richer and more detailed history in Formula 1, with many great champions, and a Grand Prix that has produced great races over the years, and helped produce many jobs and demand in Brazil, with the Grand Prix appealing to many different aspects of Brazilian areas and the economy, as stated by Verotti in 2020.